Welcome back to the Silver Lining, where it's no filler, no fluff. Bowie keeps it a buck. And today we're going to discuss the ongoing feud with Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James. This has been, I think they've kind of had smoke for some time now, honestly. I think there's been some smoke there, and I guess it just boiled over as of late. So I got the crew with me. I got my man Kurt in the building. How's it going, brother?
You already know, man. I got my hood on, man. So of course I'm putting the hood on here with the family, man. What it do?
No doubt. They got my brother Stan in the building. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Going great. Happy to be here.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No doubt. So, with this one, man, like I said, it seemed like they've had smoke for some time, and it boiled over when Stephen A. said something on First Take that LeBron took offense to. He looked at it more as a father, I think, than an athlete. And from there, LeBron, went up to him during the game, and then Stephen A. responded, LeBron responded, and he responded back. So it's been a back and forth going. I think this conversation is going to be a little bit bigger than them. It's going to be about the way sports media in general covers the NBA. But let's just go wherever we go with it, man. I'm gonna start with Stan, man. What's like your overall thoughts of this situation?
It's embarrassing. And remember when people in the media just covered basketball and that's it? Like, remember when guys just they talked about basketball on TV and that was it? Now these guys got to be part of the story. How many times have we seen over the last couple of years where Stephen A. Smith has become part of the story? Dude, your job is to cover basketball. Your job is to cover sports. You're a commentator, you're an entertainer, you're a TV clown. That's your job. That's what you do. But now you've become part of the story. And this nigga is so corny. And here's the thing about Stephen A. that just look, everybody, you guys know I don't like Stephen A. Smith. I think he's a TV clown. I think he's a coon. I think he's the Uncle Tom. I think he is the perfect Negro to be propped up by ESPN, and that's why they gave him all that money because he's the perfect Negro for them. He appeals to not just certain one side of the audience; he appeals to multiple audiences.
Exceptional nigga. Like
Yeah, he's the
Django, the
exception.
exceptional nigga. Yeah, like Django.
Yeah, that's Stephen A. Smith. He's the exceptional Negro that ESPN has now propped up on their network and made the face of their network. And the Stephen A. stuff has gotten out of hand for the last couple of years. It's been too much. Just a lot of Stephen A. Smith on ESPN lately. Like last year, you got this game 7, Pacers Knicks. Winner goes to Eastern Conference Finals. It's at the Garden. It's a big deal. And their pregame show, the pregame show where you see all the guys coming into the arena getting ready for the game, all the superstars, the guys get ready to play, and they finish it off with fucking Stephen A. Smith coming into the arena to cover the game. Like he's getting ready to suit up and play the fucking game. That was the most offensive thing that ESPN has done outside of the numerous Taylor Swift, Caitlin Clark stuff from the Chiefs game last year, which pissed me off too. I'm like, how many more times are you gonna show these two white girls on TV? Like, do we like is 25 times enough, or do we need to go 35 times? We show these fucking girls, and it's just ESPN has become a joke over the last couple of years, and Stephen A. Smith has been the face of the network, and he's the
Facts.
biggest problem. And it's like you guys now want to be part of the story. And it's not just Stephen A. It's Kendrick Perkins getting into beefs with guys. The JJ Redick Kendrick Perkins stuff from a couple years ago was absolutely embarrassing. Kendrick Perkins made a complete buffoon of himself, and as he does every day he's on TV. He's a buffoon. It's just embarrassing. Stephen A. goes on and now the way LeBron handled this whole thing was not the way you should handle it. You don't go and make a scene of the things. But it was done for a reason. LeBron does everything for a reason. He's the most aware superstar I think we've had in sports over the last 25 years. He's aware of everything he does and everything he says. So I know he was aware of. I know these guys are filming me talk to Stephen A. And I want him to. I don't think he should have did that. I don't think that was the time and place to do that, but I know why he did it. And all Stephen A. had to say was go on TV and say was, look, LeBron was mad about something that I said that he took personally. I didn't mean it personally, and I apologize. And that would have been the end of it. But that's not what Stephen A. did. He made it a story because he went on every goddamn platform that he had available. He used First Take. He used his
Gil's
own
Arena.
podcast, Gilbert Arenas' podcast, all to air out this shit with LeBron. But then he says like, oh, I never had a problem with LeBron James. He had a problem with me because I don't consider him the GOAT. Then he says last week after the shit with the McAfee interview, yeah, he's a snake and he's a two-faced, he lies and he's double stabs people in the back. That's why I don't like him. He's a clown, bro. He made this shit into a story. All he had to say was LeBron took some shit that I said personally, and you did. You question his ability as a father. You question his fatherhood, and you don't do that to another man, especially another black man. Especially another black man. You don't question a black man's ability, father, his skills as a father. What the fuck is wrong with you, cornball ass nigga, man? What's wrong with you? That was corny. And then this nigga has the audacity to bring up Kobe Bryant. To bring up, oh, LeBron wasn't like, wow, LeBron wasn't on Kobe's. And he was there. And then he had to go on social media and backtrack on that shit. He's a cornball ass nigga, man. I cannot stand Stephen A. Smith. He's a clown. He's a coon. He's an Uncle Tom. I can't stand him. Attacking another black man on national television. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You go ahead,
All right,
Let
Kurt.
me
It's on
start
you.
off. Let me start off by saying, Stan, go get you a glass of water, bro. Go ahead, bro. Calm your ass down. Put your feet up. Do something. But I agree with everything you said about Stephen A. Smith. Let's just put Stephen A. Smith to the side. He has become like we said, like aforementioned, the excellent nigga. And I do agree there's a lot of coonery going on at ESPN. Like the days of the Linda Combs and the Stuart Scotts, that's not happening no more. People that just like Kenny Mayne, Rich Eisen, guys that just wanted to talk sports, guys that knew that without the professional athlete, there is no me. You know what I mean? Um, but in this case, Stan, in this case, this isolated incident, we can make 100 reasons why Stephen A was wrong. But in this case, let's just section this one off. I'm not like trying to defend Stephen A because the way he went about it was wrong, but he was just doing his job, man. LeBron got on the barbershop 2 years ago and said, Bronny could start in the NBA right now. Bronny is better than half the niggas in the NBA right now. He said that 2 years ago in the barbershop. All Stephen A was doing was saying, where's the receipts of that? You shouldn't have let your son go to USC where he wasn't being used at. You shouldn't have forced your way in and put him out there knowing he wasn't ready to be on that spotlight. And now it looks very bad and he got to double back and go to the G League where he should have been at the whole time. Like all Stephen A was saying was what everybody else was saying. You know what I mean? Like the same thing Zebo said. Listen, my thing is LeBron, you got that energy for Stephen A. Gotta have that energy for all these other sports players that say your son wasn't ready. For all these other sports sellers say this your son only in the league because he your son. If he wasn't your son, he wouldn't get drafted. It's a lot of people that's been saying that. You understand? Now I do get this fact. Sometimes Stephen A will jump out the window. He'll get the huffing and puffing and talking crazy. He do. But at the end of the day, though, Stan, he was just asking for receipts for what you told us was there 2 years ago. That's really all he was doing. That's really now, if you want to say maybe the way he came about it and approached it was disrespectful, but Stan, if I like right now, Reg, if you tell me, yo, Kurt, JJ got bounced. JJ like 15, 16 years old in the AAU game, and you like, yo, my son got bounced. And I go to the game, and your son can't play above the rim. I'm gonna say, Reg, I thought you said your son had bounce. He got a jumper, he got a ball handle, he could this, but you told me he had bounce, bro. I expected to see him dunk on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And he's not like so. He was just asking him for a receipt. That's all. Now maybe he should have calmed his ass down a little bit in the way he was asking for it. But at the end of the day, Bronny is in the NBA. Stephen A. do that shit to all damn near everybody. Every superstar, every superstar that fell, Stephen A. roasted. Every last one of them. So it's like, but that's who he is though. If you play great, I'm gonna say you played great. If you play like trash, I'm gonna say you played like trash. If you well, look, he ain't do LeBron worse than he did LeVar Ball. He had LeVar Ball in the studio roasting him. You see what I'm saying? So all he was doing was asking him for receipts. Now on LeBron end, this is why LeBron is wrong, bro. Bro, he gotta understand he's LeBron James, bro. You don't be stooping to these niggas levels. I understand you upset, I understand you mad, but you don't stoop like nigga, you are black excellence redefined in the new era, nigga. Like who you are, nigga. Married my high school sweetheart, put all my homeboys on from the hood, put them in school, put them in positions. Now, Maverick Carter producing other shit besides the barbershop. Rich Paul, one of the biggest agents. You know what I'm saying? Raised his children up to do that. Look, well, I'm so good in my league. Look, I got my son in this league with me. Like, showed niggas like they put his son on just like the white people do in certain situations. Bro, like, what didn't he do? What didn't he do?
Exactly.
Like so for him to stoop, I feel like for him to stoop to a suck ass like us, I don't want to call him a suck ass nigga, but for him to stoop
You
for
can.
Stephen A. Smith, bro,
You
like
can,
that is
because he is.
but I feel like LeBron, like for LeBron, I just no disrespect because I know we all human. I'm not trying to put nothing on this man and expect him to be Jesus Christ. But I feel like LeBron, bro, you are so high up. It's so like the way we like whether if you think LeBron James is the greatest basketball player or not, you cannot deny the role model this man has been. You see what I'm saying to our community, bro. That's undeniable. I don't care how much you hate his game. That's cool, but we just talking about the man. And for him to like stoop, I was kind of like disappointed in Brown. Let's just say that. I'm not saying he wrong for it, but I was disappointed because like you stupid for that nigga. Like you got out of character for that nigga though, bro. Like, come on, bro. Is that and I understand if you say something to Stephen A. Smith, who's the biggest in his profession, you make that statement and it becomes a trickle down effect for everybody else. I get it, but it was just I just feel like he need to have that smoke for everybody if he gonna have it
Yeah.
for Stephen A. I could see if
Yeah, I
I could
understand
see if
that.
he had did that to Kevin Garnett. I could see if it was Kevin Garnett who was critical and it was like you know what I'm saying. You and Kevin Garnett, y'all here. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was maybe like Jeff Teague got a show. You know, y'all the players, y'all the ones that been through wars and shit. Like I could get that, but Stephen A is so far, like you're looking so far down that if you spit, it probably evaporate before it touches forehead, bro. That's how high you up above him, bro. And you stoop to this man level. And I'm very disappointed. But he does need to have that smoke. Your son is in the NBA. And as a father, people keep on talking that as a father. As a father, he wasn't playing basketball in the barbershop, bro.
Right.
As a father, you told us that your son was could start in the NBA on more than half of the teams in the NBA. So as a father, what's wrong with us with asking your ass for a receipt? Now, if you want to say
This is
Stephen A was disrespectful in his approach, I'll accept that. But he only asked for receipts, man.
no. Now here's the thing, LeBron. This is where LeBron is wrong. LeBron is smart enough to know. He's smart enough to know that this is what it was going to be. you have to know that okay, my son is trying to get in the NBA.
That's true.
You know, it's gonna the media is gonna cover it a certain way because this is what the media does. They're obsessed with LeBron James and everything about LeBron. So he had to know if my son goes into the league, he's gonna be scrutinized a lot more. Nah, it's like yo knew what was going. He had to know how this shit was gonna go. The problem is that Bronny is a second round pick. He's the 53rd, whatever the fuck where he was drafted, late second round. They don't play. So LeBron didn't play that much. When he has played, he's gotten better as the years progressed. I still think that the
True.
smart move would have been to leave him in the G League for the whole season. Just bringing him up and then taking him back to. But he's been killing it in the G League. He's been killing it in the G League. When he played that one day, when they played the Lakers played the Bucks and nobody fucking played, Bronny had 17 off the bench.
Hmm.
He's got potential, but he's still a 55th, 56th, whatever pick in the draft that should be in the G League. He should not. They should have had. They had the one moment, the opening night where he got out there with LeBron, played for a few minutes. That was great. The Griffeys were there. It was fucking awesome. Whatever. After that, has actually been the G League the whole season. And I know Reggie knows this because we had these conversations all summer and all going into the season. My feeling like this is going to be a fucking sideshow. Of course, had I known that we were gonna get Luka fucking Doncic in the middle of the season,
Luca.
you know what I'm saying? Then I would have felt better about the team. But Reggie knows I did not have any good feelings, but no heartbeat for this team at all. I knew the Bronny shit was going to be a sideshow. LeBron was going to pad his stats. AD was going to play 20 games, look awesome, then get hurt, miss 10 games. I had no feeling for this team. And I thought the Bronny shit was going to be a sideshow. And now the Lakers are good, and now we had this Stephen A. shit going on. And again,
Hmm.
Stephen A. went on his fucking first take, which is one of the worst shows on television, and goes on a 17-minute fucking rant to start the show off about LeBron. 17 fucking straight minutes of just him talking. Just him talking. Then he did another fucking podcast and talked about it some more. It's like, dude, you're making this a story. You made it a story when it's and then him going up there saying, "Hey, if LeBron put his hands on me, I'd have swung
I'd
on
have
him."
swung on
Nigga,
him. Come on, Stephen A.
nigga, you corny
Come
ass
on,
nigga,
Stephen
man.
A.
LeBron would have whipped your little bald head ass in front of the entire
LeBron would have choke
organization.
slammed your dumb ass. Fuck is wrong with you?
Like you talking about some mythical fantasy shit about well, LeBron LeBron was never gonna put his hands on you, nigga. He was never gonna do that. You know that shit. I just felt like Stephen A. made the shit about him because that's what he does and that's what he's been doing. That's
But
what he
that's what
did
he's
with all the
supposed to
shit.
do.
But that's
That's
what
what
he's
he's
supposed
supposed
to
to
do.
do.
That's why ESPN is paying him $100 million a year, whatever the fuck they're paying him, to create stories, to create interest in
Hold on.
first
Let
take.
me let me say this though. Let me say this though. They didn't give him $100 million for that. They gave him $100 million because people like to watch him. First Take has record numbers every year. They've been number one for quite some time in terms of sports shows. So they didn't give him
I get all that.
$100 million because of that. They gave him $100
Right.
million because people like to watch
He
him.
earned it. He
Y'all,
earned it.
y'all too might not like him. A whole lot of people do. There's a reason why people still watch First Take.
It's
When
not. It's not that I don't like him though, Rich.
I mean, it sounds
I don't
like
like.
y'all
I
don't
don't
like
like.
him.
I don't like the
No,
nigga.
it's just.
Everybody
It's
know
just
that.
that he does. He does. I take it for what it is. It's entertainment. Okay.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
enjoy being entertained by him,
Exactly.
but I don't. I don't agree with a lot of the shit he does.
I mean, neither do I. But my thing is, like, him responding to LeBron on First Take was exactly what I expected him to do. Why wouldn't he do it? Again, First Take is a TV show. TV shows thrive when the ratings are high. So an incident like this happens, somebody records it, which, to be quite honest with you, I think LeBron probably had somebody record it. I mean, he kind of looked, I think so, right? But rather it was or wasn't, he did it in a public setting, so he knew people was going to be talking about it. Even if somebody didn't record it, people were going to be talking about it, right? So people gonna want to know, oh, what's Stephen A. gonna say about this? So people gonna tune in the first take to see what he has to say about this.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
wouldn't he respond to it on
That's
first take?
fine. That's fine. But for him to come out and say, "Well, I didn't want to talk about it, but the only reason why I'm talking about it is because the video went viral." Like, nigga,
Because of
you a
video,
fucking
yeah. People keep on
you
asking
a
me. People
bald
keep
head
on
ass
asking.
lie ass
Yeah,
nigga.
but yeah,
You
it's
knew as
Y'all
soon as you
ask
heard,
me.
yeah,
yeah,
it's bullshit. We were just talking about on our diss track tier list. Bullshit is good in a battle. You know,
yeah,
Hmm.
you
you
knew
gotta add some
exactly.
bullshit to it.
You
That's what
knew
you do.
when you left that arena that night. You knew you was going on for TV to talk about
Oh
that
yeah,
shit. You
of
knew you
course.
was going on your podcast to talk about it because again, it's driving ratings to the show and to his podcast. It's not again. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just stop lying, nigga. Stop doing the LeBron don't like me because I don't think he's the GOAT bullshit. You ain't never like LeBron because LeBron didn't talk to you. It's that simple. LeBron didn't talk to you. LeBron talked to Pat McAfee, who you don't like either. I mean, that's just what this is all about is that LeBron don't talk to your ass. He's a big star. He's the biggest star in basketball, one of the biggest stars, one of the biggest athletes on the planet. And he don't talk to you. He ain't going on the first take. So what, nigga? Because he don't like you. Because he
Okay,
sees
but
you for
here's
who
my
you
question.
are. Just
What
like a lot of
what exactly did Stephen A. say that got LeBron upset? What was this? What did he actually say?
I believe what LeBron got pissed off about was when he came on first take and talked about the day after Bronny played, I think it was the Sixers, and Tyrese Maxey ate his lunch. And JJ put him in the game because he needed some young energy out there because guys been playing it back to back. And Bronny looked terrible. And Stephen A went on TV and was like, LeBron, as a father, you got to stop this. And I think LeBron looked at it like, dude, what the fuck is you talking about as a father?
Yeah, that was a bit much. That was a
But
bit much.
you questioning me as a father because you think that I'm forcing JJ Redick to play my son? Nigga, no. And I think that's what LeBron got pissed about.
But
Just that questioning him as a father. Again, you don't question another black man's ability to be a father.
I agree with
You
you.
don't do that.
I agree with you, but you have to think about perception. Think about what's the perception. The
We all
perception
know the
is
perception is. We all
right.
know
And
that.
so the perception is that LeBron, and think about some of the stuff they've done with Bron. They send him to the G League, then they bring him back off of the G League. He like travels like going on with the team on the road. Like there's a perception here that LeBron is giving his son preferential treatment, right? So
But he is though.
yeah, so why else would he be in the game, bro? Like we've been following basketball for a long time. We don't just randomly see
Come on,
56
man.
pick, 56 pick get tossed into a game against the six. Like we don't see that. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's not something that happens. So why is it that Bronny James is getting tossed into a game like that? The perception is that LeBron is making it happen. The perception is that. Like, how did Bronny even end up on the Lakers? The perception is
But
LeBron
LeBron did make it happen
make
though.
it
But he
happen,
did
right?
though. But he
But
does. But he is making it happen.
so when that's the case, you can't be upset when someone says, "Yo, like, why are you putting this kid out here? You're killing this kid's confidence." So I don't think it's completely out of bounds to say, "Yo, as a father, man, look out for your son, man. Like, yo, you putting him in a situation that he can't succeed. It's not good for his confidence." I don't think
Right.
that's that out of bounds to say. You feel what I'm saying?
Like,
You
like,
could have
like,
worded it
like.
better.
I give you an example. Bill Haney and Devin Haney, the boxers, when he's fighting Brian Garcia. Everybody was saying like, "Yo, as a father, you should have stopped that fight, bro. Like that was your son in there getting beat like that, bro. Like he couldn't even stand up for real. Why you didn't stop the fight, Bill? You know what I mean? That's your son. You supposed to stop the fight. You know, and that's the same thing we said. Like, you can't listen, bro. You can't say I want to play with my son. 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 As a father, I want to play with my son. And then as a father, you're allowed to play with your son. And then people start to question that dynamic.
Right.
You can't get mad at that though, bro. It's a part of
No.
now. Do I think you should you question any man integrity, whether he a father or not? Let's just keep it real. We are all men here. You shouldn't be questioning another man's integrity unless that man has done something wrong to you. then you have the right to say, yo, bro. But no, he shouldn't be questioning this. But as a father, bro, you put it out there. You didn't put it out there as a ball player. You didn't put it out there as a small forward for the Lakers. You put it out there as a father in the barbershop. So why, like,
No,
so what's
LeBron,
the
yeah,
problem with saying, like, as a father, just because this is your dream, you trying to put what you want on your son and he ain't ready for it. He looking bad, and people are lighting his fire. Get him
no,
off the
LeBron
court,
has
bro. Do the right thing.
he definitely has culpability in all this shit because again, he's the one that put this shit out there. And again, LeBron has to be smart enough to know that everything that he fucking says, people are going to take and run with.
Go
Like the whole thing with him saying about the Giannis thing about Giannis has scored 250 points. When you say something like that, these people are going to take it literally. We all know LeBron was being facetious when he said that shit, but that's what the media does. They're going to take the shit and run with it. Like Giannis isn't going to score 250 points in a fucking game against anybody in any era. But the what he was saying was obviously a great player can play in any era of basketball, and that's the truth. When these
hmm
guys talk about this guy couldn't play, and I'm like, shut the fuck up! Don't say that. You can't sit here and tell me that Kevin Durant would not have thrived in the '80s or the '90s or the '70s with his
Especially
game.
the '80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
hold on,
can't sit
guys.
here and
Hold
tell.
on, guys. I want to get there because I think that's the second part of this conversation. But I want to make sure that we close the Stephen A. portion of it. So, like, anything
Yeah,
else you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
want to say as far as on this situation, as far as Stephen A. Like bottom line, like, do y'all like for me personally? I think both of them are wrong. I think both of them are wrong the way they're handling this situation. I think that um Stephen A. especially when he did that he hit him with a back to back. He was like Kendrick. He went on his show and dissed him, and then the next day on first take he hit him again. So he hit him with a back to back. And I think
We
that the
gonna have to put
second
him on the diss track,
that
the diss track tier list, yo.
you might have to, you might have to, So that on that second one, I think that when he went a little low, like he's sitting there talking about, and he was wrong, saying that I know the reason why you weren't at Kobe's memorial. And it's like, all right, bro, like now you're going a little too far now. So I think Stephen A was definitely wrong on that. And I think LeBron was wrong because, like, honestly, man, if it's a problem, hit that man up in private and be like, yo, I got a problem, and let y'all chop it up. But doing it publicly, you wanted to make it a spectacle. You wanted this. Like, you wanted this spectacle. So now that it's a spectacle, now you can't get mad at now he's making he called a Taylor Swift tour about it. Well, yeah, he's a content maker. You gave him content to make content
Yeah,
with, right? So that's what I'm saying.
yeah. That's
I think both of them are wrong on it, honestly. So I want y'all to go ahead and just put a bow on how y'all feel about it. Cause I do real quick, I want to get into the
yeah,
media and just in
yeah,
general how the
yeah.
media covers the NBA. I'm gonna start with Stan. Go ahead and put a bow on it.
I mean, at the end of the day, Stephen A. is again, like you said, a content creator. He's a corporate whore for Disney. This is what he's supposed to do: get likes, get clicks, get eyeballs on his show and on the product. That's what he does. And LeBron gave him a shit ton of content. LeBron should know better. But I think LeBron, at this stage of his career, just doesn't give a shit anymore. He doesn't care. He's going to speak to who he wants to speak to. He's going to talk to who he wants to talk to. And he's going to do what he wants to do. And I think now he's at a point like, yo, I've been sitting back and listening to y'all dudes criticize me for 20 plus years. And all I've done is lift the NBA up. All I've done has been a role model off the court for every person, not just black people, but everybody across the globe. I'm a family man. I've done the right things. I've put my boys on. In fact, I didn't just put my boys on. I gave them opportunity and they put themselves on. That's a difference. It's the difference between handing out a bunch
hmm
of money to niggas and say, hey, he made those niggas work. He gave them opportunity and they took advantage of it. He's done everything the right way. And all you guys do is say, well, he ain't Jordan. He ain't Jordan. Fuck out of here. He probably got tired of that shit. And Stephen A's been the ringleader of all that shit. All this Jordan LeBron nonsense. He's been the ringleader. Him and Bayless have been the ringleaders of all this shit. At the end of the day, I think both of these guys were wrong in their way, but Stephen A. Smith made it a bigger story than it needed to be because that's what he does. He's a whore. That's what whores do. They make shit bigger than what it is. So I think he's a clown, and y'all know how I feel about Stephen A. He's a clown. He's a coon. He's a clown. He's Uncle Tom. He gets up there and criticizes black athletes for shit that they don't need to be criticized for, but gives white people like Caitlin Clark a pass. I don't have time for this, man. Whatever.
Wait, what
Go ahead and
pass?
close it up.
What pass did he give Caitlin Clark? I'm confused.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into that because that's gonna be another 20 minutes. So we're not gonna get into that.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay.
Not gonna get it. We're not gonna get into that. We talked about Caitlin Clark and that stuff before, and I just feel like she wasn't held to the same standards that other black athletes are held to by people like you. And that's just all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. All right, Kurt.
Bro, she the greatest female basketball player of all time, bro. What standard was we supposed to hold? All right, never mind, bro. You know what? We'll just leave
She's
this
not
shit
the
alone.
greatest female basketball player of all
She
time.
the
That's asinine. Don't say that, bro. Don't say
all
that.
right, all right. I'm just saying
She's
the
not.
five
She's not
years
even
too. I'm
top
saying the
10.
5 years too early. I'm saying the five years too
She's
early.
not
Holla
even
at me in
top
5 years.
10 though. Yeah.
Holla
You
at
said
You
me in
talking
not
about
five
top
top 10.
years.
10. You said not top 10.
She ain't top 10 right now. Maybe in 5 years, yeah. But you want to talk about top 10 all time now? Fuck
That's
no.
another.
We ain't
That's
doing
another.
that.
That's another story, y'all. That's
Yeah,
another
yeah, it
story.
is.
Because
Go
to me,
ahead,
it's
go
only
ahead.
one player better than her. But
Shit.
it's only one player better than her. Um, but to get back to the Stephen A. shit. I agree. Stephen A. does do some buffoonery, bro. We're not even gonna act like he don't. I just feel like in this situation, he was actually just doing his job. Did he go overboard? Could he be more respectful in his approach? Yes. So, um, I don't want to say I'm giving Stephen A. a pass, but I don't necessarily think he did anything wrong in this situation. I think um, I don't think he was questioning him being a father. I think he was questioning him by what a father promised us and how much pressure he's putting on Bronny now that that promise hasn't gone through. So, as a father, do you continue to drag your son down this dark tunnel, or do you let him go back to the G League where he belongs? Like, there's nothing. I don't. No disrespect. I don't see anything wrong with a commentator saying that. Now, the way I just said that is very respectful. If I think of LeBron saying that, he would say, "I can respect that opinion." Now, Stephen A. though, he go. So I don't think with Stephen A. I don't think it was what it was said. I think it was how it was said, and the fact that how everybody was reacting to how he was saying it. And like you said, that is his son too, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just think if I can't say Stephen A. was wrong for the basis of his conversation, but his approach was definitely foul. And LeBron, man, I'm not banging with that at all. Him approaching him, none of that. I'm not banging with him, even getting mad to scream at him and none of that. I think LeBron is too far beyond Stephen A. Like he shouldn't even be able to see Stephen A. when he looked down. You know what I mean? That's how high LeBron is, bro. Like he shouldn't
Right.
even be able to see Stephen A. I just felt like he just climbed, like he just jumped down like a million feet just to get to Stephen A's level to even say that shit to him. So, Brian, I'm disappointed in you. I still love you, big bro, but I'm just disappointed in LeBron in this. That's all.
All right, you guys want to leave it there? Or you want to do
Yeah, let's
the
just leave it there.
leave it
Let's
there?
just leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's leave it
All
there.
right, cool. We'll leave it there. Appreciate you guys for coming through. Be easy, man. Later.
All right, bro.
All right.
Peace.